Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to Omaha Westside High School. I'm Zach Kastrick. I'm joined alongside Ross Sternstrom. We've got a pretty good volleyball match tonight, Ross. We got number 2 Westside versus the runner-up in last year's state tournament, Papillion-La Vista. What are your initial thoughts out of this game, Ross?
Well, this Papillion Ball Club, what a tradition they've had down there at Papio. Many state championships through the year, and they're coming off a state runner-up finish against Lincoln Southwest, who will be in this gym on Thursday night. What a team they had last year. They upset Papio South in the opening round of the state tournament and went all the way to the finals. They're just a really great volleyball program. But this year they've kind of struggled. They're off to a 2-6 start, and they really had a disappointing performance in the Bellevue West Invitational at the end of August down there at Bellevue West. They won their first match against Bellevue West, but then they lost 5 in a row. They lost Elkhorn South, Westside, Lincoln East, Bellevue West again, and then Pius X. That was followed up by a loss to number 1 Papio South in straight sets. Their second win was against Omaha South in straight sets, but it's been a disappointing start for the Monarchs.
And then you mentioned last year's team, how good they were for Papillion-La Vista. There's a couple players that they lost, but there's also a couple they're getting back for this year's team. Who are those players on Papillion-La Vista we got to watch out for tonight?
Well, you mentioned many of them earlier tonight when we were going through the rosters, and they've got some great players. You got to look for Sophia Torsha, also Ellie Mancuso, Mia Torsha, Faith Whiteman, and Lillian Vitera. Those will be the players that you'll see most of on the Papillion-La Vista team, but they lost their big player from last year, Tia Taverdi. She was just one of the best players in the state, and they really miss her, and maybe they can turn it around this week against Westside, but we'll have to see. But Westside comes into this match ranked 2nd in the state, and boy, have the Warriors been playing well. They finished 3rd in that Bellevue West Invitational August 31st and September 1st. They were just playing so well. They come into this match tonight with an 8-1 record. Their only loss has been to number 1 Papio South, and this is basically for Westside. It's going to be a tune-up for that matchup on Thursday night against the defending state champion Lincoln Southwest. But Westside's really playing some of their best volleyball right now.
We mentioned some of the players on the other side in the maroon tonight for Papillion-La Vista, but there's a couple of girls you got to watch out for on the Westside side, and that starts with Ashlyn Paymal.
Ashlyn Paymal, Creighton recruit. She's going to leave Westside and graduate at the end of this semester. She's going to go to Creighton University in January, and believe me, she can make an impact right away for the Blue Jays. I know where her mind might be right now is down at the Devaney Center in Lincoln, because the school she's playing for, Creighton, has a real opportunity against 5th-ranked Nebraska. They've never beat them, but I'm sure she's thinking about that match tonight besides this one. Another player to watch for Westside, Mackenzie Wingett. Now, she's a transfer from Millard North, but my, has she put on a show here in the opening weeks of the season. She is ranked number 1 in the state in hitting percentage at 43%. Folks, 43% for somebody going up to the net and making kills is amazing. She's also 9th in the state in kills with 67, but she didn't play last week. She was on a recruiting visit, and she's number 10 in the state in blocks with 15. So Mackenzie and Ashlyn Paymal, watch those two up front. They're going to have a lot of kills tonight.
And it's not just them that do it too, Ross. Last year, they're returning 59% of their offensive production off last year's team, which was a really good team if you didn't know that. As of now, they have over 10 players that have recorded a kill this year, and they had 7 of them that are in double-digit kills this year. It's also a deep team to go along with it. And then we got to talk about the girl who's setting up all those kills, Peyton Meyer, coming off her ACL injury.
Well, Peyton Meyer, they really missed her at the end of last season. and they possibly could have won the state championship if she was in the lineup. They had to reorganize some things there in the final weeks of the season, but she is back. It took her 10 months to rehab, but she is back on the court. She ranks currently 6th in the state in assists with 150 assists, and she's 9th in service aces in the state. So she does it both ways with assists, setting up the ball, but she can also be a threat from behind the line with those aces. She's headed to Towson State, and she's going to give Towson a great job there as one of their setters. So good luck to Peyton tonight. She is really one of the key players for this Westside team.
And then you mentioned Lincoln Southwest, the defending state champions, is coming up Thursday. But what is Coach Worley of the Warriors and the rest of this Westside team thinking about going into this game, knowing that you got such a good team coming up next?
Well, all the focus tonight is on Papillion-La Vista, because this is a volleyball program that is rich in tradition, and they've got to get through with this one to get the Thursday night. But they're also thinking about Lincoln Southwest. That's got to be in the back of their minds. They're undefeated, Lincoln Southwest, and this is going to be a measuring stick tonight for Westside to see how they play well against Papio, and then Lincoln Southwest on Thursday night. But it's a big week here. I mean, we did a game last week. The marching band is in the stands. We've got a few more students than we had last week. A lot more parents and fans in the stands. It's going to be a great atmosphere tonight. And a few of the football players came in after practice last week. We see some more of them here tonight. But this will be a good match tonight for people to watch. You don't have to watch Nebraska and Creighton or the debate tonight. You can watch some good high school volleyball right here.
And then you mentioned Papillion-La Vista. The Monarchs are deep and rooted in tradition. They're a really good program. You can't overlook them. But what does Westside have to do, or maybe even Papillion-La Vista have to do to come out on top and win this match?
Well, they got to stop the two outside hitters, Mackenzie Wingett and Ashlyn Paymal. Those are the two that really make Westside go, and they've got to block up there at the net. They got to make some digs on some of those kills. For Westside, just be consistent through the match. Head coach Andrew Worley told me last week he's looking for consistency on the court for the Warriors. And if they can maintain that and continue what they've been doing, winning 8 of their first 9 matches, they'll be in good shape tonight.
We will be right back here on the WTV Live Network. We'll have starting lineups and the Westside Warrior hype video just around the corner, so stick with us.
Zach, you know what? Sorry. So what?
At this time, we'd like to bring in the amazing Technicolor Show Choir under the direction of Mr. Dora Johnson. the visiting Monarchs from Papillion-La Vista.
You know why we do this?
A senior, number 4, Nora Gunn.
We do this, we're
A
listening to
senior,
the
number
announcer.
7, Ali Vista. Freshman, number 11, Faith Whiteman. Sophomore, number 12, Aubrey Petty. Senior, number 13, Lillian Ventura. And a junior, number 14, Isabella Rigo. The libero, senior, number 2, Carlin Princess. Monarchs are coached by head coach Marcella Peterson. Assisted by Caleb Martinez, Melina Flores, Rex Johnson, Lizzie Johnson, and Lydia Bermenter. And now here's the starting lineup for your Westside Warriors. On the outside, senior number 2, Sky Miller. In the middle, junior number 6, Mackenzie Wiggins. On the right side, senior number 7, Ashley Sable. On the outside, junior number 9, Madeline Lamb. In the middle, senior number 11, Liv Unway. And the center doors, senior number 23, Hayden Meyer. From the middle, junior number 12, Jake Kuba. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Andrew Worthy, and Mo Showman. It's time to buy.
Welcome back here on the WTV Live Network. Ross Sternstrom alongside me. I'm Zach Kastrick. We are just moments away here from number 2 in the state, the Westside Warriors, taking on last year's state runner-up, the Papillion-La Vista Monarchs. Ross, we got a really good one about to start here.
Well, I talked to Andrew Worley recently, and he told me this team for Westside is so talented. This is his second season on the sidelines for the Warriors. Last year they made it all the way to the semifinals. He thinks this team can go all the way, and they've got that front line of Mackenzie Wingett, Ashlyn Paymo, and then Peyton Meyer setting it all up. Those are 3 experienced players who are some of the best players in the state. So we'll see how well this Westside team does tonight.
Just a few seconds away from first serve here at Omaha Westside High School. Number 2 in the state, the Warriors. Versus last year's runner-up, just a few sets short from taking it all last year, the Papillion-La Vista Monarchs. Our officials are confirming everyone on the court, and we will be off.
Great atmosphere here at Westside's main gym for this match between Westside and Papillion-La Vista, and the Monarchs will start it off with the first serve of the match.
Starting things off will be Nora Gunn for the Monarchs. Gunn serve, kept up by Paymal in the back row. Meyer will set, Isabella Lamb. It is good, off the block and out of bounds. Madeline Lamb, she is not a newcomer. She is on last year's team, got a good amount of reps, and she is ready to go. Also a big part of the front row of the Warriors.
Well, that was a great setup by Peyton Meyer just to get that ball all set for her.
Kubat with the serve for the Warriors, and ace number 1 goes down in the tally mark. Westside's up 2-0.
Jane Kubat, number 4 in the state in Dix, but she can also serve. That's a good start for her from behind the line.
Once again, Jane Kubat, the libero, to serve. Kept up in the back row. This one will be set for Vitera, and it falls down inbounds. First point for the Monarchs.
The Monarchs need to stay close to the Westside team here in this opening set. See which team kind of sets the tone early in this one.
LC Ryan will be the one serving for Papio. The serve Low serve kept up by Paymao. Meyer will set in the middle. There's Winget. And it goes off the dig and out of bounds. The first kill for Mackenzie Winget.
There's a little bit of a problem with the scoreboard. No score on the board, but we've got it down 3-1 Westside right now.
Meyer, the serve for the Warriors. Floating serve. Kept up. Hit far side. Meyer. Kubat will set it. There's Paymao from the back row, and it lands in the back left corner.
Boy, what a great kill right there by Ashlyn Paymao. She really found the spot there in that corner. Great shot by her.
Meyer back to serve. 4-1 lead for the Warriors. Kept up. It'll be set in the middle, tapped over, tapped right back. Another chance for the Monarchs. That'll be kept up by Kubat. Meyer set for Paymao. Off the block, and can't get to it is Sky Miller, point Monarchs.
Great job by Papio up there at the net to reject that shot. Keeping it close here early for the Monarchs. That's what they need to do.
Now back to serve for the Monarchs. Carolyn Francis, the libero wearing white today. Paymao with the receive, and she'll also get a chance here. Off the top of the net, good dig. And that'll go cross court and fall for the Monarchs. That is Aubrey Fenton, the biggest returner of last year's state runner-up team.
Good shot by Papillion. Take the lead in this match.
(3-3), I believe, is the score here at Westside. Meyer will set it. There's Paymao, the Creighton commit. Good dig by Francis. Meyer once again, and Paymao gets her redemption that time. It falls. Westside 4, Monarchs 3.
Paymao just kind of threw up her arm. Kind of a rocket kill across the court for the winner.
Still having scoreboard issues. I do believe the score is 4-3. That serve flies out of bounds on Madeline Lamb. That should tie it up at 4.
Yeah, the scoreboard worked great in the junior varsity match earlier tonight, just about a half an hour before this varsity match, but the scoreboard here at Westside's main gym is down right now. They're trying to get it to work, but having a few problems.
The serve for the Monarchs, kept up by Miller. Meyer set for Paymao far side.
Ooh.
Falls down the line.
Wow. I'll tell you, Ashlyn found the spot there. She just really threw it up and downed it right down the line for the winner. Great kill by Ashlyn Paymao.
That'll retake the lead for the Warriors. 5-4. Back to serve the Millard North transfer, Winget. Good serve, almost gets down. Instead, that'll be a chance for Weichman. Once again, Monarchs. Free ball west side. It falls in the corner. Winget was not able to get to it.
And that should tie the match up right now at 5-all.
I do believe that is the score. Back to serve. Weichman for the Monarchs. Kept up by Lamb. Meyer will set it. Far side Paymao straight to the floor. Watch out, Ashlyn Paymao.
I'll tell you what. I feel sorry for Papillion-La Vista. There's no way to return those kills. Those are monsters.
And there she is. The one that just got the kill. Ashlyn Paymao, the Creighton commit.
She is such a good all-around player. Can kind of do it all out there in the court.
Set up. Good dig by Kubat. Meyer runs over for the set to Miller. And a violation against the Monarchs. Westside will take the point. 7-5 now. The lead for the Warriors. Paymao once again. Her serve, straight line drive, kept up by Francis. Far side, it'll land out of bounds, sailed out on the Monarchs. Zoe Peterson could not keep it down. Now Westside on a bit of a run.
Yeah, Ashland, she can serve so well. Does a great job.
Tallest player on the team at 6'2". Another good serve kept up by Francis. This one will be set in the middle, back row. Now Myers' turn to set. Back row, Paymal, count it.
I believe that's her 4th serve in a row, and they've scored. This will be her 5th time behind the line.
9-5 now the score. Westside with the lead. Paymal, dug by Francis, set far side, and it lands inbounds. Must have clipped the line on the far side.
Ashland looked over there with her mouth wide open like, whoa, I don't know about that one. But it's Papillion's point. Now it's 9-6.
Faith Weichman back to serve for the Monarchs. Kept up by Paymal. Meyer will set it for Miller, and it sails out of bounds. Just couldn't land it in. Ten to 7 now the score, I believe, is what I just heard. Still a broken scoreboard. Paymal keeps the serve up. In the middle for Oddvadi. Westside gets another chance. This one will go to Miller. Off the block, kept up. Chance here for the Monarchs after the reset. This one will be set far side from Macunzo. Another free ball to the Monarchs. Things are unorganized, and Miller takes advantage and slams it home.
Sky Miller. I talked to Sky last week. I said, is that your nickname, Sky? And she goes, that's my middle name. That's where she gets it. Yeah.
Miller with the serve. This one kept up by the Monarchs. It'll be set close side, and into the net it goes. Zoe Peterson with the air. 12-7 is what I believe the score is. Still a broken scoreboard. It's hard to keep track.
In volleyball, that's a good thing to have, the scoreboard.
It is a nice feature. Miller with the serve. Line drive kept up by Francis. That'll be set for Kunso. Paymal has to throw it across the gym. The Monarchs unorganized, but get one off, and it goes off Paymal's arm and out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a great shot by Papillion right there. It was a tough shot for Ashland to see if she could make it, but skimmed off her arm there on the far side. Point for the Monarchs. And I've got 12-8 right now in this match.
The serve for the Monarchs, kept up by Kuba. Myro set it. Close side Lamb, off the block and out of bounds.
Boy, Westside's front line's doing a great job tonight. Peyton Myers setting up the ball for them, and they're letting it loose. Hard for Papillion to just answer.
Kubat back to serve for the Warriors. Kept up in the back row. This one will be set far side. Vitera. Now once again, free ball coming for the Warriors. Meyer sets it middle for Winget. Off the block and down. Kill number 2 for Mackenzie Winget.
Mackenzie Winget. I'm telling you, this is quite the player. Junior for Westside. #1 in the state in hitting percentage at 43%. And it's a timeout for Papillion because Westside is on a roll. I've got it 14-8.
Sounds about right. As we get a timeout called by the Monarchs as they trail by 6. Ross, what worked so well in that first 22 points?
The sets by Peyton Meyer, they're so close to the net. It's so easy for Westside to get those kills at the net, and it's so hard for Papillion to answer because they're coming so hard. But those sets are within just a few feet of the net, right there at eye level, and it's easy for Westside just to knock it down. And I'm telling you, Mackenzie Winget, this is the first time I've seen her. She wasn't here last week for the match, and she does just a great job up there blocking and also with their hitting percentage, one of the best in the state.
Looks like they brought out a little temporary wooden scoreboard down on the court, Ross, so No technology of the scoreboard for now.
We're going back to the old days.
And look at that. We have the top 3 hitters for this Westside team in the lineup right now. That serve from Kubat. Kept up. It'll be set in the middle for Vittel. Now Lamb into the net and out of bounds. 14-9 now the score here. Monarchs trail by 5. Back to serve, Elsie Ryan. Ryan serve, line drive into the back row. Paymal handles it, but Westside will have to just toss it over. Almost gets down. Free ball coming here for the Warriors. Meyer, good set in the middle for Winget. Kept alive by the Monarchs. That one will be set for Fenton. Now the Warriors. Meyer set to Lamb. Back row, get it down. Madeline Lamb.
Madeline Lamb, just a rocket down the line. No answer from Papillion on that one. She's the younger sister of one of Westside's top players. She's now at Montana State, also played against the Huskers the other night.
Monarchs, Fenton, and it falls down. Aubrey Fenton is starting to get things going for the Monarchs.
They've got to get some confidence. Can't let Westside get too far ahead. They need to score some points right here to stay in this match.
Francis will look to start things off in those serves for the Monarchs, trailing by 5. Her serve, line drive, straight at Miller. Paymal from the back row, and it sails out of bounds.
That set was just a little high for Ashland. She couldn't handle it that well. That's why it went so far back, because the set was kind of high for her.
15-11, Papio looking to go on a little bit of a run. Francis once again. This one straight at Miller, kept alive. Middle for Winget. Off the block and down. The combined block between Weekman and Vitera gets things home.
Winget, she powered that ball there at the net, but just a great block by Papillion. Now they've closed to within 3.
Francis down by 3 for the Monarchs, and it sails out of bounds. Westside takes the lead 16-12.
Warriors got a break right there. The Monarchs are making a push.
Now back to serve, Madeline Lamb. Her serve kept up by Francis. This one will be set for Weekman, and it's off the hands and out of bounds. Point Monarchs.
Yeah, the Monarchs getting a little more confidence each point out there. It's down to a 3-point margin, 16-13.
Monarchs keeping things close here in set number 1. Back to serve, Mia Torschel. Monarchs trail the Warriors by 3. Off the top of the net, Meyer will serve for Paymal, far side, off the blocking, gets down, Westside by 4.
That's what they need to do, just hit it really hard there at the net. That one went out of bounds for a point.
Winget back to serve for the Warriors. Just recently transferred in from Millard North. Straight at Francis, kept alive. This one will be set in the middle, kept alive. Now Paymal, back-to-back kills, Ashlyn Paymal.
Great teamwork there by the Warriors for that point. Great dig, great set, great point off the kill.
Once again, Mackenzie Winget back to serve. Her serve kept up by the Monarchs. This one will be set, tapped over by the Monarchs, kept alive by the Warriors. Ashlyn Paymal with a rocket down the sideline.
But the play was Mackenzie Winget. I'll tell you, she made a dig right there to keep that ball alive. Came back from serving. Boy, she's all smiles there on the sidelines. She knew that was a great point. Her teammates congratulating her. And now Westside's ahead, 18-13.
I do believe that is the score. Coach timeout by Priscilla Peterson of the Monarchs. We're going to take a quick break here. You're listening to Westside Volleyball on the WTV Live Network. Welcome back here on the WTV Live Network. Westside up by 6, 19-13 is the count. Mackenzie Winget back to serve. Her serve kept up by Francis into the net. Free ball for the Warriors. Here it comes. Lamb to Meyer. Paymel far side. In the middle of the court. Ashlyn Paymel cannot be stopped right now.
Wow. 20-13 for the Warriors right here. Great point. Ashlyn's so hard to stop when the ball is set perfectly for her.
Winget gets the sign from Coach Worley. Middle serve kept up by Francis. Will be set far side for Fenton, and it will get down. Point Warriors.
21-13 now. Westside ahead. Need 4 more to win the set.
Winget on a really long run of serves. Westside is on a run. Good serve straight at Francis. This one will be set near side. Kept up by Lamb. Now Meyer for Miller, and it falls into the net.
Yeah, just a little low on that set and hit it right into the net.
21-14. Now the count.
This is where the Monarchs have to make a run right here.
Fenton to serve for the Monarchs. Barely gets over the net. Meyer serves for Paymel. Off the block and get it down. Ashlyn Paymel. She cannot be stopped right now.
Well, if Kirsten Bernthal Booth, the Creighton head coach, could see her tonight, she'd be really proud of her. That's where she's headed this January to Creighton University, and boy, she's going to give the Blue Jays a boost.
It appears our scoreboard is working now. As Westside serves, they're going to get another free chance for a point here. And it's going to land out of bounds. 23-14, Westside lead.
Well, now the fans can actually see what the score is in the match. Our viewers have been watching it. 23-14 now.
Good dig by Francis, but nobody's home to get the return. Set point, Westside Warriors.
Ashlyn serving for the set right here.
The serve for set point, and it sails out of bounds. We'll go another set point.
That one just kind of sailed on her, but she's still all smiles in the backcourt.
Westside up by 9. They need one more point to take the first set here. Back to serve, Weichman. Kept up by Kuba. Meyer will tap it over. Kept alive by the Monarchs, though. And that one will go off the block and get down. Point Monarchs, Zoe Peterson.
Tell you, sometimes that last point is the hardest to get because the other team is just playing so hard, trying not to lose.
The serve by Weichman into the net, and Westside takes the first set off the service error of the Monarchs. 25-16. Ross, that was a pretty dominant set by the number 2 team in the state.
Well, I think everything we talked about in the pregame, Ashlyn Paymel and Mackenzie Winget really showed how good they are in that first set. Lots of kills up front by those two. Great sets by Peyton Meyer and Mackenzie. We found out she could really serve the ball. She probably had probably 6 or 7 points off her serve, so a good start for the Warriors.
We're going to take a break here on the WTV Live Network. We'll be right back with the start of set number 2. Welcome back here on the WTV Live Network. I'm Zach Kastrick with you tonight alongside Ross Sternstrom. Westside took that first set in quite a dominant fashion, 25-16. Ross, what did you notice out of that set?
I just noticed how good Peyton Meyer sets the ball for the two big hitters for Westside, Paymal and Wingett. Those two, it's like a double sword right there for the Warriors, the way they attack there at the net. And it was so hard for Papillion-La Vista just to return the ball. Those were rockets that were coming at them. And they went all the way to the corners and the back line. If they didn't block it at the net, Westside was basically going to score a point, because that was their only defense, is to block it at the net, because they had so much trouble trying to return those kills because they were high-speed rockets.
And you really have no clue where it's going to come from either until it's off their hand. There's just so many different ways the Warriors can attack.
Well, Peyton Meyer, I mean, people don't notice the setter, but those sets are just above the net and right where you want to put your hand when you're spiking the ball. And it's a perfect setup by Peyton, and it's a great combination for the Warriors. This has been a very impressive start for them. 25-16 in the first set. This will be a best-of-5 match.
Westside takes that first one. They lead 1-0. Set number 2, here we go. To start things off for the Warriors is Jane Kubat. Her serve gets over, kept up by Francis. This one will be set for Mancuso. And it gets down, miscommunication on the Warriors.
Well, I think Papillion, the set was almost over the net, and she just kind of tipped it over. Westside was going for the block, and the ball went right over their heads.
The Monarchs start this set off with a 1-0 lead. Nora Gunn with the serve. Kept up by Paymal. Meyer with a set. This one for Wingett. Off the block, kept up. Free ball for the Monarchs. This one will be set. This one for Vitera, and it gets down.
Well, Papillion has to do more like that. Off to a good start here. 2-0 for the Monarchs.
2-0 lead for the Monarchs, and that's going to be a service ace for Nora Gunn. Westside with their first point of the set.
Well, Westside needs to maintain that intensity that they had in that first set, not let Monarchs get back into this match.
Back to serve, Peyton Meyer. Her serve into the net and gets down. Back-to-back errors, one on both teams.
Oh, that one just kind of didn't have enough juice on it and went right into the top of the net. And now Papillion with a 3-1 lead.
Back to serve for the Monarchs. Elsie Ryan. Her serve kept up by Miller. Meyer with a chance to set. High set for Paymal. Short dump. This one will be for Fetton. Good dig by Kubat. Now Paymal. Once again, Ashlyn Paymal. You just can't stop her.
Well, the way Peyton set that ball up way across the court, that was a long set. It was right there for Paymal to pay off.
This serve by Lamb will be kept up by Francis. It will be set for Vitera, and it will be tipped and out of bounds. Papillion-La retains their lead 2-4.
The Monarchs playing with a little bit more confidence here in this second set.
2-4 the score. Francis back to serve for La Vista. This one kept up by Miller. Paymal on the far side, off the block and out of bounds.
Boy, I tell you, on that right side, Ashlyn really plays well. Right-handed, and she just hits rockets over there.
Wingett with the serve. The Miller North transfer. Monarchs serve up into the net. Chance for the Warriors. This one for Miller. Off the block and down. The combined block. Zoe Peterson and Faith Weichman combine.
I'll tell you what, the Monarchs playing with a little more intensity. After losing that first set 25-16, they've really come back here in the second set. Some great net play by them.
Mia Torsha with the serve. Into the net, service air, Westside within one.
You know, that is one of the big frustrations for head coaches are the serves into the net. It's like a walk in baseball, a hit. You just give away a point to the other team without even having the other team do anything.
Paymal with their serve. Into the back row, kept up by the Monarchs. This one for Fenton. The dig goes across court. Another chance. In the middle, tapped over. Good dig by Kubat. Rushing around, tapped over by Miller. The Monarchs reset. Fenton with a chance. Off Kubat's hands and across the gym. Point Monarchs.
Kubat was really busy on that point. All over the court. Some great kills by the Monarchs, and she had a little trouble on that one. Good point by the Monarchs.
Fenton with her serve, kept up by Paymal. Meyer sets right back to her, and a rocket off the arm of Ashlyn Paymal.
Boy, the Monarchs had to duck on that one. Otherwise, that was going to go right in your face.
Back to serve, Sky Miller. Kept up by Francis. This one set in the middle, dug by Miller. Meyer with a set to Lamb. Gets across, and it's going to chase up into the bleachers.
Oh, Lamb hit a beauty right there. I'm telling you.
Miller to serve in the tie game. Kept up by Francis in the middle, but it goes up into the net and tapped to the other side by Lamb. Westside takes the lead.
Boy, Lamb's playing great out there at the net. Last 2 points gives Westside the lead, 7-6.
Third serve in a row for Sky Miller. In the back, Francis. This one set for Mancuso. Blocked down. Another chance. This one off the block and out of bounds. Faith Weichman.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Westside, even though they lost that point, that was a great combination up there at the net. Ball just rolled off to the side on the Westside's court for the point for the Monarchs to tie it up.
After the kill, Weichman with the serve, and that's going to go down in the ace column. Paymal couldn't get under it.
Yeah, that was really low. Had to really go down on the floor to get that one, and now the Monarchs take the lead.
After one ace, she looks for two. Weichman, and she gives the point right back to the Warriors, tied at 8.
Boy, that's a coach's nightmare. You got all that momentum going, get a couple points, and then you serve it right into the net.
We have a famous saying from Nebraska's coach, Ross. What is it? Just get the ball over the net.
Yep.
Francis keeps it up, set in the middle for the Monarchs, and it gets down. Give it to Lillian Vitero.
Yeah, and now they take the lead again.
Those service errors just kill a coach's mind.
Very frustrating for a head coach.
Nora Gunn back to serve. Her team up 1. Kept up by Kubat. Meyer goes all the way out to chase it, and it's going to go off the block and out of bounds. That will be a kill for Mackenzie Winget.
Yeah, nobody over there for Papio. Kind of a miscommunication there. Nobody on that corner of the court. Ball fell in to tie the match up.
Meyer with the serve. Floater into the back row. Kept up. This one will be set in the middle. Kept up by Kubat. Tapped over into the corner. Monarchs keep it alive. Free ball for Westside. Meyer with the set in the middle. There's Paymal. Good dig by the Monarchs. Tapped right back over. Monarchs will set it up for Mancuso. Dug by Kubat. There's Lamb. Off the block. Kept up. Long point keeps going. Tipped over. Now in the middle. And the Westside tries to keep it alive, and the really long rally goes in the favor of the Monarchs.
What a point and what a win on that point for the Monarchs. Exchanged probably 10 times. Finally, the Monarchs come up with the win and the lead, now leading 10-9.
Back to serve, Elsie Ryan. Team is up by 1. And an lineup error on that serve will result in a point for the Monarchs.
The Monarchs looking for their biggest lead of this set, trying to go up by 3.
Kept up by Miller, but it's going to go to the other side. Gives a chance for the Westside, and it's going to go out of bounds. Peyton Meyer is trying to keep it alive. Westside now trails by 3, 12-9.
Yeah, this is the Monarchs' biggest lead of this set and of the match. Never led in that first set.
The serve kept up by Paymal. Set right back to her by Meyer, and she can't get it over the net that time. Westside now down by 4.
Yeah, I just took a quick look at Coach Worley clapping his hands, trying to encourage his team because the Monarchs have gone on a run here with 3 straight points.
And Ryan hands it right back. That's just the best way to kill momentum.
Yep. Coaches hate that. Your team's got a roll right there, and then you give the point away.
Lamb with the serve. Strong serve, and it gets out of bounds. Back-to-back errors, one on both teams.
Papillion now up by 4.
Carolyn Francis wearing the special white for the Monarchs tonight. Her serve into the net, 3 straight errors, 2 to the Monarchs, 1 to the Warriors.
Boy, if I was the Papillion, I'd bring them all over the sidelines, tell everybody just get the ball over the net.
Winget back to serve. This one sharply over the net. Set for the Monarchs. Zoe Peterson hammers it home. Monarchs get their lead back to 4.
I'm telling you, if the Monarchs can just serve the ball and get it over the net, they will have won this set. Most of the points are just, they're giving them away.
Torsha with the serve. Back row for Lamb. Now Meyer set for Paymal. Tip shot, and it goes down off the dig.
Great touch there by Ashlyn Paymal. Just kind of dinked it over the net, just past the front line of Papillion, and nobody was there.
And after her kill, she'll get the serve. Francis keeps it alive. This one will be set. Miscommunication, though, results in a free chance for the Warriors. Back row Paymal. Good job keeping it alive. That one will be set for Fenton. Kept alive by Lamb. Now Oddbody on the right side, off the block and out of bounds. Westside closes within 2.
Liv Oddbody, what a great point right there to kind of stop this kind of momentum that Papillion had come with. Just a great point right there along the net.
Oddbody coming off a good game last week. She was our player of the game against Omaha North last Thursday. Paymal floating serve, can't get it over. Signs of frustration off that look of Paymal. The serve will be by Fenton. Her team is up by 3. 16-13. Sharp serve into the net. Another error for the Papillion-La Vista Monarchs.
Westside will take those every time.
Miller leads the team in aces. She has the serve. Sharp over the net, gets it across. In the middle, tip shot by Weichman. Meyer will set for Lamb. Francis keeps it alive. A good set. This one for Mancuso. Good dig. Sky Miller and Peyton Meyer can't get over to it.
Very tough right there. Good set by Papio and the point.
Weichman with the serve. Team up by 3. Lamb has to set to Paymal, and it sails out of bounds. 18-14 Monarchs lead.
And a good timeout by Westside right there, down by 4 points. They've really kind of come back here. Papillion, they will have easily have won this set if they could just serve the ball over the net, but they've dominated so far in this second set. And Andrew Worley being very stern with his players in the huddle.
We're going to take a break here on the WTV Live Network. You're listening to Westside Volleyball on the WTV Live Network. Welcome back here on the WTV Live Network. Zach Kastrick alongside Ross Stjernstrom. A fiery Coach Worley after his timeout, Ross.
I'll tell you what, his face was red when he was talking to his players. It wasn't a friendly conversation he was having with them. He'd seen enough. Papillion dominating this set, up by 4 here.
The serve by the Monarchs. Meyer with the set for Lamb. Trying to get more points back, they can't. This one for Mancuso. Kubat with the dig. Meyer now set for Paymal. Off the block. Kubat once again with the dig. Lamb has to toss it over. Chance for the Monarchs. This one back row gets down. That one will go for Aubrey Fenton.
Papillion closing in this set. Only needs 6 more points to win it.
Westside trails by 5. Paymal with the dig. Almost lost it. Miller has to throw it across. This one set for Vitera. Now Meyer setting for Paymal. And it can't get down.
Just past the line. That was close. Now within 5 of winning the set.
Weichman with the serve. First time for Mary Ball of the Warriors. Checking in. Meyer will set it for Lamb in the front. Off the block and get it home. Westside trying to build some momentum. They're within 5.
Yeah, great point there by Lamb. Kind of changed the momentum because the Monarchs were on a roll. Pulled it within 5, 15, 20.
Back to serve. Jane Kubat. Strong serve. Gets across. This one set for Regal. Now Mancuso. Meyer chases down the set. Off the block. Another chance for the Warriors. Right back to Lamb. Off the block and get it home.
That is just the medicine Westside needed to get back into this match. Down by 4.
Kubat with the serve. Warriors trail by 4. Gets it over, almost got it down. This one set for Mancuso. Now Meyer with the set for Lamb. They go back to her, can't get it. This one once again Mancuso, far side. Meyer with the set, beautiful set to Paymal, and a fireball by Ashlyn Paymal.
The Warriors are on a roll right now, 3 straight.
And that's going to lead to a timeout by Coach Priscilla Peterson of the Monarchs.
Yeah, the
Westside within 3.
Yeah, the Warriors were down 20-14. Things did not look good, and now they've gotten 3 in a row. That timeout really, you must have said something to them that really motivated them because everything turned around. Much calmer Coach Worley right now in this compared to last time, but they need to maintain that intensity that they have in these last few points because Papillion-La Vista was on a roll.
What do you think they're saying in the Papio huddle after they just gave up such a run?
Stay calm, get the serve over the net. They're not getting the blocks at the net like they were earlier in this set. Westside's getting free balls up there at the net, and if they don't block them at the net, it's so hard for them to return it because the ball's coming so hard at them. But we'll see if Westside keeps up this run right now. 3 in a row for the Warriors.
Looking to make it 4 in a row is Jane Kubat on the service line. Far for the Monarchs. This one's set, and it can't find Mancuso. The Warriors close within 2, 20-18.
Well, I tell you, the Warriors they're on a roll. They're gaining confidence, communicating with each other on the court.
The serve by Kubat. Warriors within 2. This one, Mancuso. Tip shot, Paymo's right there. Now Lamb off the net, and it gets down. Warriors within 1.
5 points in a row for the Warriors. They now close within 1 and can tie it up right here with this serve.
Looking to tie it up is Kubat. This one for the Monarchs. This time Vitera. Good dig by Vale, and it gets up into the ceiling. Point Warriors.
Did they get that point because it hit off the ceiling?
I believe there was something going on this side of the net.
Okay, all right.
This one will lead to a timeout by the Monarchs. You're listening to Westside Volleyball on the WTV Live Network. Tie game here in set number 2. Welcome back here on the WTV Live Network. I'm Zach Kastrick. Join alongside me is Ross Sternstrom. We're tied here in set number 2, all at 20.
Warriors looking to get their 7th point in a row.
Jane Kubat looking to do that. This one will go to Francis. Now for Mancuso. Off the block, but out of bounds. Papio takes the lead back.
This is money time right now. Both teams trying to win this set. 21-20 Papillion.
21-20. Monarchs with the lead. This serve kept up by Bale. Now in the middle for Winget. Fireball, Mackenzie Winget.
Well, no one was going to get that one back. What a winner that was.
Now it'll be Meyer on the line to serve. Both teams need 4 points to take set number 2. Floating serve kept up by Francis. Now in the middle, straight down. Vitera will get credit for that kill.
I don't think Westside had a chance on that one. No one was going to return that ball. Monarchs with the 1 point advantage.
Back to serve, Ryan, looking to keep her team's lead. And it's going to be shanked out of bounds, giving a tie game. 22-22, back and forth here in set number 2.
The Monarchs have really struggled from behind the line on their serves, and it's really paid off for the Warriors. That is really what has kept them in this match.
Number 9. Madeline Lamb for the Warriors. Good serve. This one for Vitera. Lamb, now Meyer, now Paymel. Off the dig and out. Ashlyn Paymel gives the Warriors their first lead in quite some time.
Yeah, the Warriors got to get it to their best player on the court, Ashlyn Paymel. That's what you want to do here in these final points of this set.
Lamb serve, hard line drive, kept up in the middle of Vitera, and it gets down, tied at 23 apiece.
This is some great volleyball here in this set. Both teams going back and forth.
Carolyn Francis looking to get her team the first set point of the match. Lamb, good dig. Meyer up in the net. Net violation. The point will go to the Warriors.
Wow.
Set point.
I thought it was Westside who touched the net, but it was Papillion.
24-23. Set point for the number 2 team in the state. Mackenzie Winget looking to win it. Kept up by Francis. Here comes Papillion. This one off the block and get it down. Sky Miller and Liv Oddbody give the Warriors the second set. They lead 2-0. What a run by the Warriors to come back.
I'll tell you what, it was down. Westside was down 20-14 in that set. They scored 6 points in a row to tie it up at 20-20. Then Papillion came back, and it was back and forth. But I tell you, those final 2 points, Westside wins it 25-23. What a comeback by the Warriors in that set to go up 2-0 in this best-of-5 match.
That is why Westside's number 2 in the state right there, Ross. They overcame that adversity. They found a way to come back, and now they lead 2-0 here against the Monarchs.
You know, I'm looking at the points in that match. Westside never led until it was 23-22. They never led until the last 2 points of that set. What a comeback by the Warriors.
You got to be proud of your coach Worley at the end of that set by your team.
But they're going to grow from that. They're going to look at down the road. If they're down by 6, they'll say, hey, remember that set against Papio? We were down by 6. We can come back. And I'll tell you what, that's what they did. But it's a maturity for this team. They're going to grow from that set. They can come back when they're down.
Westside leads this match 2-0. We're going to take a quick break here. You're listening to Westside Volleyball on the WTV Live Network. Welcome back here on the WTV Live Network. Ross Sternstrom alongside me. I'm Zach Kastrick. Westside leads against the Monarchs 2-0.
I'll tell you what, that's some exciting volleyball right there. Papillion was trying to come back in this match. It looked like it was all theirs until those final 5 points, and Westside came back, tied it up, and won those final 2 points to take that set. They're now up 2-0. If they win this one, it's all over. And then they can look to Lincoln Southwest, the defending state champion, on Thursday night. But they got to take care of business right now to just win one more set to take this match.
25 more points for the Warriors, and they take it home. Nora Gunn to start things off for the Monarchs. Flat-footed serve for Paymal. Meyer dips it back over. This time she sets it. Oddbody. One-handed stop by the Monarchs. This one for Mancuso. Into the net. Point Warriors. They started off 1-0.
Good way to start for the Warriors to get some confidence in this set. You got to feel for Papio. They've been dejected after blowing that big lead there in that second set.
The serve by Kubat. In the middle for Vatera. And it's in the corner. They tie it up at 1.
Yeah, that was a great kill right there by the Monarchs to tie this set up.
The Monarchs will serve. It will be Elsie Ryan. 1-1. Paymal, Meyer, Winget, out of bounds. Point Monarchs.
Papillion needs to get out to another big lead here, and I'm telling you, the coach probably told him, let's just get that serve over the net.
It does this time. Meyer runs over. She'll set it for Lamb, and it goes out of bounds. 2-point lead for the Monarchs.
Yeah, the Warriors can't let the Monarchs get too far ahead here at the start. They played from behind in the last set until the very end.
Served by Ryan. Gets over. High. Now Paymal. Dipped over. Good fake by Mackenzie Winget. Point Warriors.
Those little dinks, it's hard to defend against. You're looking for the big kill, and you go up to the net, and then they just kind of float it over.
Meyer, she coming off an ACL injury from last year. Set for Fenton, and it flies out of bounds. Westside ties it up 3 apiece.
You know, I think if Westside gets a big lead right here, they could coast to the win in this set. They've got to have that kind of killer instinct.
Meyer floating serve, gets over, set for Fenton. Off the block, but it gets down. Monarchs with the lead.
These Monarchs aren't going away. They still want to keep this thing alive.
Back and forth set so far. Francis with the serve. In the back row, kept up by Bale. Now Paymal, across it goes.
I'm telling you though, Peyton Meyer with that set from way across the court over to Paymal, and then the winner.
Lamb with the serve. Set. Miscommunication results in a free chance for the Warriors. Paymal on the far side. Gets it across, but it's dug. Dink shot over. Westside. In the middle for Winget. Off the top of the block, and it gets over.
I am really impressed with Mackenzie. She's just doing a great job tonight. All-around play from her serve to her blocks at the net, her kills. She's a great all-around player.
Lamb with the serve. That one goes nearly out of bounds. Francis has to throw it over. Kubat, now Meyer, in the middle for Winget, and she can't get it to roll over the net.
She was looking to kind of just dink it over the net. Didn't quite make it all the way. All tied up at 5-all.
Mia Torsha will have the serve for the Monarchs. Clipping the net, but getting over. Meyer serve for Paymal. Cannonball off the arm of Ashlyn Paymal.
That was a cannonball, no doubt about it. You can call it a rocket, a cannonball, a firecracker, whatever you want, but no one was going to return that one.
Anything that's fast would be a great way to describe what happens when she gets her hands on it.
Yep.
Winget with the serve. Kept up by Francis, up in the net. Results in a kill for Sky Miller.
Sky going way up in the sky to get that one over the net.
Winget. The Warriors lead by 2, 7-5. Strong serve, you could hear that one. It'll result in a kill, though, on the opposite end for Faith Weichman.
I'm telling you, Papillion's not going away. They're keeping this close, 7-6. Westside still maintains the lead.
Winget checks out for the Warriors. Liv Advati checks in.
It's hard to believe this team has only won two matches this season and 6 losses. playing really well tonight.
Miller keeps it alive. She'll get it back here. Rolls it over. Chance Monarchs. This one in the middle, tapped over off the block and down. Weichman gets stuffed at the net.
Warriors are so tall up there at the net, they can get some blocks. Very difficult for Papillion to get it past them.
6'2", Creighton commit Ashlyn Paymo on the service line. Kept up by Francis. Set for Mancuso. Kubat. Lamb. Paymo. Point Monarchs.
This one I think is going to go back and forth, back and forth. No team seems to dominate here in this third set.
Served by the Monarchs, kept up by Kubat. Meyer for Oddbody. Off the dig and all the way to the other side of the gym. 2-point lead for the Warriors.
That's the one no one's going to get up into the stands. Warriors up by 2 now, 9-7. Let's see if the Warriors can make a run here to kind of separate themselves from the Monarchs.
Mary Bale back to serve. Haven't seen much of her. One of the few extra Warriors that have gotten in so far. Her serve to Francis. Kept up. Mancuso has to tap it over. Meyer. Lamb. On the line. Must have barely got over.
Just over. Just over.
From our vantage point, it looked like it landed on the line, but the point will go to the Monarchs. 9-8, back and forth we go. The serve by Gunn. Meyer dinks it over, gets the point.
Oh, I love those points when the setter just kind of pushes it over the net and kind of caught Papillion by surprise. They're looking for the block and just kind of skims it over the net where nobody was.
The serve by Kubat barely gets over the net, but it's going to give the Warriors a chance for a point. Meyer, good serve in the middle. And Mackenzie Winget, have yourself a night.
I got a name on that. That's a boomer. That's a boomer.
The little girl will chase down the ball and give the Warriors the chance to serve. They're leading by 3 after a bunch of back and forth plays so far. Kubat now in the middle. Vatera gets the kill. Monarchs within 2.
Was that a cannonball right there?
I would say it was, but there's a difference between a Vatera cannonball and a Paymo cannonball.
Okay, just checking.
Ryan with the serve, kept up by Bale. This one for Winget, taps it over. Good dig by Francis. Now Vatera goes out of bounds. Westside by 3.
Westside keeping that advantage here. Peyton's a great server. Maybe they can make a run here.
Meyer, her serve, Warriors by 3. Francis keeps it up. Now in the middle, Vatera, and it gets down. They close the lead to 2.
Yep.
Carolyn Francis has been all over the court for the Monarchs, really keeping them in the game thus far. Her serve, kept up by Paymal. They'll set it for Lamb. Off the block and get it down.
Oh, everybody on the Monarch team was just looking at that ball, and it just drops in. We're in no man's land, and the Warriors go back up by 3.
Bale out, Miller in. Back to serve, Madeline Lamb. Strong serve, gets over. They'll set it for Fenton. Blocked, another chance for the Monarchs. Has to get it over. Kubat, good dig. Meyer now set for Paymal. Off the top of the block, and it's out of bounds. Westside on a run. They're up by 4.
Yeah, now they're making that stretch even farther. A 4-point margin for the Warriors. They're starting to make their move now in this set.
Lamb with the serve, and it hits the bottom of the net. Gives the serve back to Papio and cuts the lead to 3. Lamb laughing about that serve. Her team is still up by 3. Back to serve for the Monarchs, Mia Torsha. Looking to close the gap even more are the Monarchs. Meyer with a set for Paymal, dinks it over, kept up by Francis. Now Fenton, bad angle, but she gets it over. Now in the middle for Winget, chasing it, but can't get to it are the Monarchs.
Winget, I'll tell you what, she's having a night. She's playing really well. Very impressed with her. Great all-around play.
And there she is on the service line for the Warriors.
She's one of their best servers on the team, no doubt about it.
Winget with the serve, and it's going to go off the back wall. Give the ace to Mackenzie Winget.
You know, she's among the state leaders in blocks, kills, hitting percentage, but just real consistent behind the line when she serves.
Looking for back-to-back aces. This one kept up by the Monarchs. In the middle, and blocked. Oddbody with the block. Time out, Papillion-La Vista. They trail by 6 now in the ride or die set number 3.
Yeah, this was a close match. It was 12-10, and then Westside scored the last 3 points, making a 6-point margin right here. And this is the money part of the set. Closing in. The Warriors won this set. It's all over. It'll be 3 straight sets. They won the first 2, 25-16 and 25-23. The Warriors had to rally in that second set to win it. They trailed the entire set until the final 2 points and won it 25-23. Much better performance here in this third set.
Westside doesn't have to come back here in set number 3. They just have to maintain what is right now a 6-point lead, 17-11.
And you know, the Monarchs have played better just serving the ball here in this third set. Done a much better job, not giving away points.
Winget serve, Francis. It'll be set for Weichman. Meyer on the floor for the dig. Now Miller. Up in the net, battle at the net. And we're going to get a point going to the Monarchs after the battle at the net.
Yeah, that one just kind of bounced into the net, couldn't handle it. Point, Papio. Warriors still with a 5-point advantage here.
Back to serve, Aubrey Fenton, who's been quiet in this third set. Meyer with a set for Miller. Off the block and down. La Vista has back-to-back points. The lead's down to 4.
That was a great block up front by the Monarchs, I'm telling you. Looked like the Warriors were starting to go on a run there, all set up, but just a great rejection there by the Monarch front line.
The serve by the Monarchs, kept up by Lamb. Meyer will set it for Miller. She flies over, gets it across. Now for Weichman. Meyer Paymal, and it gets down off the block.
Oh, I'm telling you, Papillion's not going away. Won the last 2 points.
Fenton, back to serve. Her team is within 3 now. Miller pops it up for Meyer. She'll get it right back. Good dig by Francis. Now flying across, getting it across. Meyer set it for Miller, and it's blocked. And the blocking spree is alive for the Monarchs, 17-15.
Great shot there by Sky Miller, but just a great block up front by Papillion. They've now closed to within 2 points.
The serve by Fenton,
Oh,
gets down, service ace.
Yep. Perfect time for a timeout by Westside. They scored they scored 5 points in a row to pull within 1 point. It looked like the Warriors were just kind of maybe coast in for the win, going up 17-11, but the Monarchs have rallied. This time it was Westside in the second set. Now the Monarchs have rallied from 17-11 to 17-16. 5 consecutive points by the Monarchs. So the tide's kind of turning here. Momentum's going Papio's way.
They're within one now, 17-16. The Monarchs are within. They will have the serve by Aubrey Fenton.
Good timeout by the Warriors. Got to gather themselves. They still have the lead in this one.
Fenton back to serve. She has her team with a chance to tie it up at 17 after trailing by quite some points. Meyer to Paymal, and it's tied up at 17.
Whoa, I'm telling you, their blocking up front has been fantastic here in this third set. They have turned this set around. The momentum, but definitely now with the Monarchs.
They trailed by as well, I think as many as 7 or 8 here in the third set. Lamb to Meyer. They try and get it to Paymal, and that is how you get yourself the lead. Ashlyn Paymal.
That's what you call a cannonball, Zach. That was a boomer. I'm telling you, anytime Westside's down, needs a point, they go to Ashlyn. She's the best player out there on the court for both teams.
Now the senior Kat Gaughan checks in for the first time. She has a good serve. This one gets down for Isabella Regal. Tied up at 18 now.
Yeah, this one's going down to the nitty-gritty here again.
Monarchs try to do what Westside did in the last set. Come back late in the set. The serve by Weichman. Miller to Meyer, tosses it over. They keep it alive. Mancuso tips it over. She gets it back off the top of the net. Third hit for the Monarchs, gets it across. Meyer to Oddbody, across the court and down. 1 point lead for the number 2 team in this day.
Boy, they needed that point. Big time. Big point for the Warriors. Get that lead back.
Mary Ball, the sophomore of the Westside Warriors, checks in. 6 points away from taking it all in set number 3. Set for Mancuso, and it's down. Tie game at 19.
Whoa! I'm telling you, both these teams playing some great volleyball out here. Back and forth, back and forth. You gotta love it if you're a volleyball fan, the way these two teams are playing here in this set.
Nora Gunn, senior, as most of the Monarchs are. A little bit of confusion by the Monarch bench, but we are off here in the tied set number 3. The serve by Gunn, kept up by Bale. Meyer set for Oddbody off the top of the block, kept up by the Monarchs. It will be set for Fenton. Down. Warriors. Meyer gets down on the floor for the set, and it's in the corner. Isabella Lamb with the perfect spot.
Lamb just found the right spot. Just hit there before the line, right in the far corner. Point Westside. They're 5 away from winning this match.
Back to serve, Jane Kubat for the Warriors. Kept up by Francis. Set for Vatera. Fireball off the arm of Lillian Vatera.
I'm telling you, this is like a seesaw, back and forth, back and forth. These two teams changing the lead.
Seesaws were fun in elementary school, and I guess they're still fun even in high school.
Yeah, betcha.
The serve by the Monarchs, kept up by Lamb. Meyer will set it right back to her. And it's down.
No way they were going to return that one.
And there she is. Ashlyn Paymal checks back into the game. Warriors 4 points away from taking the match.
I like Peyton Meyer serving the ball here. She does a good job.
Meyer with the set. Francis, good dig to keep it alive. Vitera taps it over and it gets down, tied up at 21.
Can you believe this match? I'm telling you, since they were tied 17-17, it's gone 1 point one way, 1 point the other way. The last 4 points.
Francis with the serve, tied it here in set number 3. Meyer up against the net, gets it down. Mackenzie Winget, but it goes out.
Ooh, boy, that was close.
La
That
Vista
was
takes
really
the lead.
close.
First lead in quite some time for the Monarchs.
Widget really hit one there. I thought it was in.
Francis with the serve into the net. Such costly mistake this late in the ride or die set number 3.
That's a heartbreaker for Papio. They had the lead, had a chance there to go up by 2. Now it's tied up again.
Madeline Lamb. The gym goes quiet for her set. The serve kept up by the Monarchs. Weichman, and it lands in bounds. La Vista keeps the lead.
The official right there on the line called it good. Gives Papio the lead.
Mia Torsha, the junior, in a crucial situation here in set number 3, down 2-0, and it sails out of bounds, 23 all here in set number 3.
I'm telling you, it's been a killer for Papillion serving the ball tonight, and that one really hurt. It's all tied up.
Winget with the serve. Hard serve kept up by Francis. Weichman, dug by Lamb. Meyer with the set for Paymal. Roll shot kept alive. Once again, and it's down. Westside with set point. 24-23. Set number 3, Westside 2-0. Timeout Monarchs with Westside on the 3rd set point of the match.
Yeah, this is match point right here for the Warriors. Up by 1. Just kind of a replay of that second set, but it was Papillion who's come back this time. The second set, Westside won 25-23. The Warriors up by 1 right now. I'm telling you, this has been some good volleyball these last 2 sets. Both teams playing really well.
If you think this is good volleyball, just wait till Thursday when you have number 1 versus number 2.
I really hope the students and the fans turn out for that one. Thursday matches are always well attended.
Watch it here on the WTV Live Network if you can't come, though. We will have it, as we always do, here on Warrior Television. But as of now, we have match point for Mackenzie Winget and the Westside Warriors. Here we go. The Monarchs set it for Fenton. Dug by Winget. Back row, Lamb. Now the Monarchs. And it's blocked! And it's in bounds! The Westside Warriors take it in 3 sets over the state runners-up from 2023, the Papillion-La Vista Monarchs. What a battle tonight by the Westside Warriors.
I'm telling you, this was a really decisive match for this Westside Warrior team. Papillion, with the strong tradition that they have, just a great, and I'll tell you what, it was just a great match for the Warriors. Very impressive in that first set. Westside won 25-16, and then that second set, oh boy, was that something else. Westside was down 20-14, and then the Warriors scored 6 unanswered points to tie it up at 20 all, and then won the set 25-23. And then in the third set, it was back and forth, back and forth. And then Westside came up with the final 2 points. It was tied 22-all. And then Papillion scored a point to go up 23-22. They served the ball into the net. Westside made it 23-23 there. Then Westside got the final 2 points to make it 25-23. They win in straight sets, 25-16, 25-23, and 25-23. The Warriors raised their record to 9-1 on the season, and 9-1 on the season. And this Thursday night, they will play Lincoln Southwest, the defending state champion. Last year, they beat Papio in the finals to win it. Papio, who played tonight, was a state runner-up. They dropped to 2-7 on the season. Just a great job by the Warriors tonight. They win this match in straight sets, 25-16, 25-23, and 25-23. Now let's go to Zach Kastrick. He's going to have our player of the game, and let's send it to Zach right now.
I'm Zach Kastrick. I'm here with our player of the game, Mackenzie Winget. You're brand new to Westside this season. What have you made of your time so far here?
I've been trying a lot to work on blocking and just trying to get college ready by the end of high school.
And then you guys had a great 3-set match here today. Took it in a sweep. What did you make of today's performance?
I think that there's a lot of things we can work on in the future, except there's also a lot of things that have shown a lot of improvement in just working as a team and being fluid together.
And we got to talk about Thursday. The #1 team in the state comes to this gym. What do you guys have to do?
Lincoln Southwest?
Yeah.
Ooh, I think we just have to focus on being a team and playing together and just doing what we know how to do, because there's no really
And then what can you say about your teammates? I mean, Peyton Meyer setting you guys up all night. How good were they tonight?
Phenomenal. She's just always so much fun to play with and be around, and she really is just fun to play with. She's great to watch.
Thank you so much for all listening tonight. Player of the game, Mackenzie Winget. We will be back here Thursday night. Lincoln Southwest, the #1 team in the state, comes to town. Don't miss it here on the WTV Live Network.